Evening everybody, just sorting out my light. Hi everyone, welcome to tonight's Wednesday night stamping. I hope you're all having a lovely week. We'll get started in a minute, but I'll just wait for a few people to join. I'm not sure who's joining tonight. Just seeing if I can scroll. I've managed to break my clamp today for my phone, so it's going to be different this evening. I need to order a new one. Tonight we are going to be creating a Christmas card, and it will be using the new Gnome for the Holidays Christmas stamp set, which some of you may have seen me use quite a lot. It is one of my favourites. I'm a big fan of Christmas gnomes. And this one is no different either. So what I'm going to do is I will say hello to a few people as they join, and then I'll turn my camera around and we can get started. So hello to everyone who's joining. Hi to Bev, hi to Courtney, hi to Christine. Quite a few of you this evening. Hi Debbie, I hope you're having a lovely day, ladies. Can't believe we're nearly at Thursday. Where's this week gone? It's disappearing, isn't it? Hi Marion. So we are going to make, I'll show you a little sneak peek. Some of you have seen this already. We're going to make this little beauty, which is really cute, really fun to make, and actually a lot simpler than it looks. So I am going to just pause you for a moment, and I'm going to spin you around, and then you can see my desk and we can get stamping. So bear with me a moment. Okay, so here is my desk this evening. Just playing around with this. So this is the card that we are going to put together. So it is an Aperture card. So we've got 3 apertures, and our little gnomes are tucked inside it, and then we've got a bit of stamping inside. So we will need for this, hi Sharon, hope you're having a lovely day. So we will need some shaded spruce cardstock for our card base. And to make our card base, we're going to start with the card in a portrait fashion, and we're going to score 10.5 centimetres from top to bottom, and then we're going to turn and we're going to line it up at 14.9 centimetres and cut. That actually gives us 2 card bases. We only need 1. Then we're also going to need some Whisper White. Now the Whisper White measures 10 centimetres by 14.4, and we need 2 pieces of that, one for the inside and one for the outside. So I'm just lining this up at 10. You can't actually see the measurements. And another one at 10. Now you will notice that underneath we have some real red, so I'm going to cut a piece of real red, the piece that's going to show through, and this is going to be just 0.5 centimetre smaller than the white. So we're going to start at 9.5 and cut, and then we're going to turn and we're going to go in at 13.9. Okay, so that is our cardstock cut for this evening. So you will need, we have a piece of shaded spruce as our card base, like so, and then we have a piece of real red that is going to go underneath, and then we have a piece of white that's just ever so slightly bigger. That's how it works. And then we have a piece of white for inside. Okay, so to start with, for this card, we're going to cut our apertures, and for this I've used a 2-inch circle punch, and you will need a pencil. Okay, so in here, I have just some scrap white, and I'm going to cut a circle like so. So the idea is, pop them bits out of the way, we're going to cut a circle here a circle here and a circle here. So we're going to turn this over, and then you need to think everything is mirror imaged, okay? So to start with, we're going to put our circle here and roughly about 1/2 centimetre away from each edge. And it's difficult to see this because it's white on white, and just draw round it. This will be the back, so it doesn't matter that you're drawing on it. Okay, and then again, we're lining it up so it's 1/2 centimetre away from that one and 1/2 centimetre away from this edge. And then just cut round. And then again, this should match up roughly, and it doesn't matter if they're slightly different. Roughly the same sort of distance. Okay. So we can put our circle to one side, and now we're going to go in with our circle punch, and we're going to line it up so that we're going to punch almost exactly over where those circles are. So can you see that? So this is a good way just to plan ahead. As you know, I do most things by eye, but cards like this require a little bit more planning. Okay. So there we have our 3 circles, and as you can see, they are pretty much identical. Not bad, okay? So we can start by, I'm going to use a real red, dark real red stamping blend, and you'll see that actually I've spritzed the card. So for that, all you do is you need the felt tip end of your pen. You can do this for stamping blend, and you can also do this for the Stampin' Right markers. So whatever you've got will work. You can also do it with an aqua painter and some ink. So you're going to push inside the lid, and then you're going to use the lid to push against and just flick the ink onto your card. And I think it just breaks up that whisper white, because for a card like this, you don't really want to be taking up too, you don't really want it kind of stark. So now we've done that, we can actually start putting this together. So we will need some dimensionals, which are over here. Okay, so just a quick read of the comments. Hillary's put, oh, this was going to be my Christmas card to Christine. Whoops. Sorry about that. You could always make it in a different colour or with different characters. But, okay. So, let's just pop this on our card front, just with a little bit of Tombow around the edge. So this is going on flat, and this is going on in the centre of the card. So you've got a lovely border of green showing. I would actually say that these 2 colours are the most Christmassy colours. They're just so traditional, and they're very, I think they're true Christmas colours. So that's real red and shaded spruce. So if we turn this over, we're going to put some dimensionals onto the back, and we're going to stick this down. So I will put more on than I would normally use. And the reason we're using dimensionals is so that we can slot our gnomes in behind. Okay. Okay. So once you've done that, you can lay your whisper white piece over, like so. So there we have a nice Aperture base with the real red showing behind, and you can't actually see any of that red really. This is quite clever. So it's just 1/2 centimetre smaller. So now that's our piece for inside, isn't it? Now we want some scrap white to do a little bit of stamping of our gnomes. Now a trick with these gnomes is to just put them on one block, okay? It saves cardstock and it saves you stamping 3 times. You can do it all in one go. So here we go. That's it. and I'm using Memento for this because I'm going to use Stampin' blends. Memento is the best ink because it actually means that things shouldn't run, that your stamping shouldn't bleed into your colouring. So there we have our little gnomes. Don't they look cute? Okay, so the colours I'm going to colour these in with, I have some real red, obviously. I have some garden green. No, not garden green, shaded spruce. Some daffodil delight. Some crumb cake. And some ivory. So I'm going to move my camera in so you can see a little bit of colouring. And these are actually a real joy to colour. Oh dear. Stampin' blend is stuck now. Hooray! So I'm just going to colour their little noses and their hands. It's going to be quite a calm live this evening. Who doesn't love a bit of colouring? Okay, and then this lovely little lady. And then for the red, I am going to, what am I going to colour? We're going to colour her dress. So this little lady's got a little red dress on with her little pinny over the top. Don't forget her arms. Isn't she cute? And I'm not worrying too much about blending, because it's not that sort of card. I'm just colouring. So you could actually use the Stampin' Right markers for this. Okay, and then his hat, we're going to have a little bit of red and green stripes. Because who doesn't like a stripe at Christmas? And his little ball. Okay, now with their feet, you won't actually see too much of their feet because we're going to tuck them inside. So don't worry too much about that. Laura, you've just put, I always make you want to do colouring. Who doesn't love a bit of colouring? They're very cute, aren't they? I just wish with these ones they came with a set of dies. I know I like a bit of fussy cutting, but it would be easier if there were dies for these. Let's give him little red socks, shall we? Late tonight, and don't worry, better late than never. We are just colouring in some gnomes, and we're making an Aperture card tonight. And I will show you in a moment when I zoom back out again. I'm starting to see lots of these now all over social media, Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. Okay. His hat reminds me of the Cat in the Hat. And it is officially 100 days today until Christmas. So single figures tomorrow. Who started their Christmas shopping? I haven't. I wonder who is organised. Okay, just cover this. This is the light shade that I'm using of the shaded spruce, and I think it's the best one to use. So I think the dark would just be too dark. Sharon, I'll stop it. It's true, 100 days today. Little baubles. Let's do her little feet green, even though we won't see her feet. And then for the yellow, I'm going to colour the little bauble on his hat. I'm going to colour the little bow here, and then here the little star on her hat as well. Oh, and here, the top and the bottom of the bauble. Okay, now for the beard, I have got some crumb cake, and I quite like this colour for the beard. So for this, I'm just going to go around it. I'm going to add a little bit of definition on this where I can. And the pen is actually nearly running out, so I need to get a new one. And this isn't bad. This pen is about 2 years old, so it's done me well. I'm just going to get a new one. One moment. So who so far has bought the gnomes? That's better, look. We're getting a bit of definition. I'm just going around the edge of his beard. That's it. Okay. Here we go, so we're nearly done with the colouring. And just keep going until you are happy with what you've got. Okay, so there we have our little gnomey gnomes. So what we need to do now is just cut these out, and I'd love to say here's some I've cut out earlier, but I haven't been that organised today, so you could go and make yourself a cup of tea, or check what's happening on EastEnders. Oh no, it's not on tonight. Bit of Corrie. So I'm just cutting them out, leaving a little border of white. And I'm just keeping my scissors nice and still, and I'm moving the paper. Just gives you a bit more control. I think I say this nearly every live. And the reason I'm leaving a white line is because I think it looks a little bit more neater. Because if you were to cut out on the line, obviously it's even fussier to cut out, and there's some real detailed bits to these gnomes, like the hands, and you wouldn't want to cut his hand off, would you? Can't do that to a gnome. Okay, so gnome number 2. And I am going to cut into the top of this, and let's hope we don't cut off the detail on his hat. Better. Okay, that's not bad. I'm pleased with that. Just follow it round. Like so. Sounding quite windy outside tonight. Has anyone else got strong winds? Okay, nearly there. I don't think this is too bad. Fussy cutting. considering I am going quite quickly. Gnome number 2. Now they look like best buddies, don't they? Where's number 3? Here she is. Over here. So gnome number 3, just be careful not to cut that star off of her hat. And inside the card we're going to turn this hat into a Christmas tree. I will show you that when we've done the front. Go around her hair. Don't worry too much about her feet because you're not going to see those. We're going to hide those away. And a few people just join. Hi ladies. We are making an Aperture Christmas card with these cute little characters. And this is the Gnome for the Holidays stamp set. Quite popular actually. Right, so there we have our 3 little gnomes. Okay, to bring our card back in, and we are going to tuck our little gnomes inside these apertures. Okay, so before we do that, we're going to just curl them ever so slightly, just between your fingers, so that when we stick them down, there's a little bit of depth going on there. So I'm just using my dimensionals, and we're going to tuck his feet in, or you could just tuck one foot in. I'm just going to tuck one in and then pop him down. So you've got a little bit of detail there. Lady is going to go in the top like so. I'm going to put her at that sort of angle, and again we're just going to curve them ever so slightly. And I tend to find with things like this, use the edges of your dimensionals because then they're not too wide. Okay. Lovely. And then with this Mr. Gnome, on my design, his beard hangs down. So for that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the line of his beard just up. Like so. So then what we can do, we'll just curve him first. Pop a little bit of dimensional there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just tuck his feet in, and then his beard will hang at the bottom. There we have it. Cute. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. And then we've got a little sentiment. So the sentiment I'm using is Warm Wishes for a Happy Christmas, and I love the text on it, and it's from the Best Year stamp set. This one actually almost passed me by. It's in the annual catalogue. And yeah, I very nearly didn't see it, and I really like it because it's got a nice thank you, happy Father's Day, happy birthday, to the world you're a dad, to me you are the world, that's really cute, you did it, and then a Christmas, so really handy. And I am going to emboss this, so we need a little bit of black cardstock, and this is just my little scraps box. So let's see what, these are just offcuts that of course you just don't throw away, do you? So this one is roughly that size, and that is about 1 1/4 inches. And we're going to emboss with white. So to start with, I'm just going to rub the embossing buddy along our cardstock. You can use a tumble dryer sheet if you don't have an embossing buddy. The reason we do that is because it takes the static off the card, so that when we add our powder, our embossing powder, it only sticks to where we want it to stick, and we don't get speckles. So for this, we're going to add in the middle, try and make it straight. This ink pad is a Versamark ink pad and it's sticky, so when we dip it into our embossing powder, like so, give it a little tap, it's stuck to where we want it to stick and we haven't got speckles everywhere. Okay, so you'll see that that is quite dull looking, and if we were to touch that, the powder would just disappear. So we're going to use our heat tool, we're just going to set it. So you'll see that it will start to turn like a glossy white, and that means it's set. So I hope the camera can pick that up. It's just starting to go now, so you can just see that. You have it. It's always a nice effect, this one. Try not to burn your fingers. Okay, so we have our little banner, and then all we're going to do is we're going to just cut it down. So just snip off the end, and then we're going to pop that on like so. Just going to snip a little bit more off there. That's better. So we can pop a little bit of Tombow on and then line it up where you want it. There will do. And then when you turn it over, all we're going to do is we're going to snip that off so that it's level with the edge of our card. Okay. And then for some added detail, I've just got some red rhinestone basic jewels. I'm just going to pop one or two of these on. We'll have one there and one down there, just to give it a little bit of extra sparkle. So that's the front of our card. And then if you remember at the beginning, we cut an extra piece of white, which is here, and we're going to decorate the inside now. So for the inside, we're going to repeat some of our lovely speckling, and for that I'm using a real red stamping blend, and I'm just using the lid to push against. Okay, now we're going to bring back our little gnomes, and we want to stamp just the Christmas tree hat of the ladies, of our lady gnome. Okay, because I think this is a really cute Christmas tree. There we have it. Cute thing. So then we'll colour that in. Oh, wrong end. Just follow it round. Colour in the little baubles. And then the star on her hat. And then we will cut that out. So here I'm actually going to cut on the line on the bottom part, because we want to cut off the part of her head so it doesn't look like it's her hat, it looks like it's a Christmas tree. And again, mind that star. Following it round. Okay, so we have our little Christmas tree. oh, that's the card I made earlier. Bring it back in, and we can now stick in our white piece. Like so, and then down here we can put a little Christmas tree. I always stick everything in flat on the inside of the card. And then the last bit we have is a sentiment that says, "You're a friend like no other." Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this in black. And just going to stamp this like so. And then I'm going to snip this into a little wonky banner, because who doesn't love a wonky banner? Okay, and then this is going down there. You could have stamped it direct onto the card if you wanted to. So there we have our finished card for you this evening. So we've created our apertures with the circle punch. We've done a little bit of ink speckling, and then we've stamped, coloured and cut out our little gnomes and tucked them into the circles. So it looks like they're peeking out. We've got a little bit of embossing here with our sentiment, and then inside we've got a little bit more detail. And I think it's really cute. So that's it for me this evening. I hope you enjoyed that design. If you have any questions about the techniques or products that I've used, feel free to drop me a message. All of the products that I've used are available on my online store. The link to that is at the top of my Facebook page. I will update my blog, so everything is on there for you if you do want to check anything back. And that's it for me tonight, so enjoy the rest of your week. I'll be back here on Sunday evening at 8:30, and I look forward to having you join then. Take care, guys. Thanks so much for joining. Bye.